All right, so this is the first episode of the JMCC Podcast, or the JMCC, which is the Japanese Manga and Cosplay Club at U of M Dearborn. Terrence, this is Walter.
Hi guys.
The first topic we're going to do today, since E3 was last week, we figured we'll talk about E3 and all the different topics that came up during E3, new consoles, new games, things like that. I know personally every year I check out E3. This year was actually really quick coverage. I normally watch Spike TV or G4.
Yeah.
Obviously, G4 doesn't do it anymore because they're Esquire. But Spike did it. It was actually only like 2 days long this year. It was
Really?
it was super quick.
Wow.
They did all the conferences. Nintendo didn't have theirs. They did the little.
I didn't even know they didn't have a conference.
Yeah, they did the Nintendo Direct.
Yeah.
And they introduced some games. They have a new Smash Brothers coming out, which is pretty cool. So they have Mega Man, which is sweet.
Oh, they do have Mega Man.
Yeah, they have Mega Man. They added the villager from Animal Crossing.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, and they added. They actually added like the Wii Fit trainer girl.
Yeah.
And it was funny. They like kept that as a surprise announcement.
Yeah.
And when they did it, a lot of people were like disappointed that that's all it was. But
Yeah. I've seen memes on the internet about like just random people. So, but and they're also making one for the DS, right? The Smash Brothers. So that'll be pretty.
Yeah, like
cool.
at the same time, I think there's like the same one
Yeah.
for DS and Wii U.
Yeah.
But and a lot of people were disappointed. I know they have a new Zelda coming out too for 3DS. I forgot what it was called, but they have.
Are they
this
remaking
thing.
A Link to the Past?
They're remaking Wind Waker for
Wind Waker.
Wii U. That looks really good, actually.
Yeah.
Personally, I'm not like super into Zelda. Like, I honestly only have
I
the
want to
first
buy
one.
a remake or an HD remake, so I understand.
Yeah, like I only have like the original one, honestly, and I got that from my uncle.
Yeah.
For some reason, I just never got into them that much. But it looks really good,
Yeah.
and they have the one for 3DS. Like I said, I forgot what it's called, but they have a cool dynamic where you basically become like a mural.
A mural on the wall. Yeah. I saw that. Yeah.
So that one looked pretty cool.
Oh, okay, that's
like
the DS one. Okay.
Yeah, like cool little dynamics for that.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I really enjoyed were like some of the new games. There were a lot of new games this year, actually, compared to most years. It's generally it's generally new games, but it's generally just sequels and stuff.
Yeah.
But they had a lot of new IPs that were really cool.
Okay.
They had a game Rise, which was supposed to be like a Spartan type game. It looked pretty cool. I don't know if I'm gonna get it. I mean, obviously.
Is that the one where it looks like everyone's piloting a giant mech?
No, that's
Okay.
that's Titanfall.
Oh.
Which is made by Respawn, which are the people who did Call of Duty. So it kind
Which
of
one?
Modern Warfare, I guess.
Oh.
Because it goes back and forth. I honestly forgot
Because
all the different.
I thought it was Treyarch and then what's
Infinity War.
Infinity War.
Yeah, so Infinity War is the one that's gone, and then the people that went from Infinity War went to Respawn,
Oh.
and
okay.
the people at Treyarch still do Black Ops. They're the ones that do Black Ops, and like every year it goes back and forth. But
Yeah.
a lot of people like that. It does look just like Call of Duty to me, but
Yeah,
it
it
has
does.
mechs and it looks pretty
Yeah.
cool.
It's Call of Duty in a mech, right?
Yeah.
Basically.
The mechs have cool powers. There was one where like the mech was getting shot at by another mech, and he like had like a gravity field type thing, and he could catch all the bullets and missiles and stuff, and he could shoot them back.
Oh, that's cool.
And you could if your mech gets destroyed, you can like launch up in the air
Mm-hmm.
and escape, and you can kill the person in the air. But how they did it for the demo was when the player like got launched up, he came back down
Yeah.
and dropped on the other person's mech, and he like blew it up, and he killed that person by dropping on top of the mech. So I thought that was a cool little
Yeah, that's
dynamic.
cool. Yeah, kind of like an instant revenge kind of
Yeah.
system. But and then I guess Kingdom Hearts 3 was announced, right? I didn't see
Yeah.
any of the details, but finally.
Yeah, that was a big one. I remember because I was behind because I had work that night,
Yeah.
and so like the next day when I like got on Facebook, like, there were a bunch of comments about like how much the PS3 cost and Kingdom Hearts was announced and all that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I watched it. It was a super quick little teaser trailer. They just like showed clips and stuff of all the old games,
Yeah.
and then they showed Sora like he picked up a Keyblade, and then they showed It was actually in-game footage. It looks pretty cool. I like the style of it. It's sort of I read a comment. I forgot what they said it was, but it was something. It was a style they were trying to get since the beginning,
Okay.
and it kind of reminds me of claymation, but like sort of smooth claymation, I guess.
Okay.
So I like the art style. It looks pretty cool. And,
Yeah.
You know, just for the franchise itself, it's obviously huge. So.
Okay. And then I guess they announced. Well, okay, so I guess they changed versus 13 to be actually be 15, right?
Yeah, I think it was 15.
Yeah, yeah. So.
That one looks really cool too. It's obviously not what's the, I can't think of the actual genre. Type for the fighting. No, not that. Like the fighting system. Is it turn based? Okay, it's not turn based.
It's like
real time strategy.
Oh, okay.
So it's just like Kingdom Hearts, where you actually fight and stuff.
Yeah, because I heard that the team that was developing that game was developing Kingdom Hearts, I believe. Like
yeah,
the new
I think
Kingdom
so.
Hearts
Yeah.
will be developed by a different team because the other one's still working on 15.
Yeah, so it looks amazing to me personally, and I thought like I might actually get this one because I haven't played one since 7, like most people.
Yeah.
Excuse me. But like the main character looks really cool. He has like this power where he can basically throw his sword, and whatever it attaches to, he like instantly teleports to the sword.
Oh,
and so he's like jumping all over the place, and then he has like his 2 partners. Like the one guy has like a giant sword, and the other guy has the gun. So it's like the pretty much classic like 3-person squad type deal.
That's really cool.
Each person is specific. And they're fighting like giant enemies and all types of stuff. And it looked really cool. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Metal Gear 5, of course. That looked amazing. I was hoping.
Like, how are they making 2 new ones?
I still don't know. Like Ground Zeroes, I thought was the original title.
Yeah.
And I think it's still. I don't know if it is its own thing now. Like people, if you know, you can comment. But
yeah.
I thought that was the new Metal Gear, and then they did the whole Phantom Pain thing, and then they finally revealed that is Metal Gear Solid 5. You know, the whole thing, Metal Gear Solid 5 Phantom Pain.
Yeah.
And some of the stuff they showed was from that original trailer, so I don't know if he just changed the name, or if it's 2 separate games, and maybe you play as somebody else or something like that. But what I was really hoping for was that David Hayter would still play it. Like I figured, because he announced that it was Kiefer Sutherland, but how the trailer started, it was just Ocelot talking for like a minute, and then I thought it might be.
Still alive?
Yeah, well, it's before. It's before 1.
Oh,
so
it's a prequel. Well, they had to do a prequel because they really tried to kill it. Yeah, they tried to end it. But yeah, so that looks good. I know that I saw stuff for the next Infamous before E3, but I think that's going to be on the PlayStation 4, right?
Yeah.
And it follows Cole's son?
No, it's not his son. It's that's just the name, Infamous Second Son.
Yeah.
I cannot remember the name of the character, but what they did was they basically took the good ending, because that's what people chose during their first playthrough. Yeah. So they chose that data for their main story and what happened. And I won't spoil the ending for 2, but what happens is they basically go from that ending, and so now people with superpowers are basically classified as bioterrorists. Okay. And based on the trailer I saw at E3, apparently the main character didn't have powers from birth. Okay. And he has a brother, and he said, like, you know, we could probably sneak you past the people because you're not a regular bioterrorist or whatever. Yeah. So I figured he got powers like later in life. Yeah. But he was like a radical or whatever. He was like, you know, spraying graffiti and stuff because his brother's a cop. Okay. But I think it'll be pretty cool to see that. So he's basically like, have you played Infamous before?
I played Infamous 1. I didn't finish the storyline completely, but I played.
Okay, so like the partner whose name I can't think of right now. Yeah, Zeke. Oh. So basically, I think his brother, the guy's brother, will be like Zeke, more serious, but he'll be like that partner character. Yeah. Okay. And that takes place in Seattle, and so he has to deal with all these different groups and things like that. And I think it looks pretty cool. I like how his powers look.
Does he have lightning powers?
No, he has like smoke powers, but he gets like fire powers too, and he can fly and stuff. Like he did a thing where he flew like super high up in the air and slammed into the ground.
Okay.
So that was one of the things I wanted in 2 because all the other characters get like flying abilities where they can like teleport pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
And so now we get that in Second Son, so I think that'll be pretty cool.
Yeah.
One of the biggest things was, of course, the new consoles and stuff.
Yeah.
Xbox and PlayStation. Everyone pretty much hates the Xbox because of what they did.
I don't know, like, they have a very, very strong fan base, though. We'll see when it actually comes time to play the consoles, or to buy them, I should say. I think that it's probably going to be more even, but definitely at the end of E3, everybody was hating on the Xbox. I'm not an Xbox fan, I have a PlayStation 3, but I find it hard to believe that people that play, like, Call of Duty on Xbox are going to switch over to PlayStation 3. But I mean, it is cheaper, and I will get a PS3, PS4 before I get any other system. So,
yeah. Me too. But what everyone hated at first was, like when they first announced it.
Yeah.
All they did, like before E3, was the entertainment stuff, pretty much.
Yeah.
And like I did a video on that, and personally, I enjoyed the pre-E3 thing because I didn't really expect much from it, except for here's the console and this and that. And of course, they didn't do the price then, but what everyone was talking about was how the DRM stuff, which is basically them saying that you can't have used games, or you have to pay a fee to have used games. Everybody was mad about that, and they didn't talk about it during E3 either.
Mm-hmm.
But it just came out that they went back on that, so at least they did figure it out. Like, that would really screw them over.
I think Sony just shamed them into not.
Did you see the conference?
I didn't see.
Okay, in the conference, it was so funny because they took like a good 5 minutes where basically all he said was, "You can play used games," and people just like went crazy and cheering. And for like a minute straight, he didn't even say anything, and it was like, we won't charge for used games. If you have a disc-based game, you can share it with whoever you want, and people were cheering like crazy.
Yeah.
And I just laughed. I was like, that was good PR. That's really smart.
I saw a mashup video where they took the E3 or the PS3 portion of the conference where they talked about the price point in the Xbox version, and there was cheering when the guy announced how much the PS4 was going to cost, and then there was just a long, awkward pause when the Xbox guy announced how much the Xbox was going to cost. I think it's like $100 more, maybe.
Yeah,
something like that.
It's I want to say it's $4.99 for the Xbox and then $3.99 for PS4. Which I thought was really interesting, mostly because because it made me think of the PlayStation 3 when it first came out.
Yeah. But they were losing money on PlayStation 3s initially because Blu-ray players were so expensive back then, right?
Yeah.
I think. And they were selling the console for significantly cheaper than just normal Blu-ray players, and they had backwards compatibility and everything.
Yeah,
but
then they have the cheaper versions in the Xbox.
Yeah.
I figured it would cost a lot because of the whole, like it ships with Kinect.
Yeah.
So like every console comes with it, which I figured, I figured that would make it pretty expensive if they did that with every game.
Yeah.
But the PS4, I like how it looks. Both of them, honestly, they kind of look alike to me.
Yeah.
Like just like the smallest little detail, because each has like half shiny, half is matte.
Yeah.
But I like how the PS4 looks a lot more than the Xbox One.
I do too. But I'm sure. What are the exclusives coming out for Xbox One? Do you remember? I don't remember.
One of them is by Remedy. That was really the main one because they're the guys who did Max Payne 1 and 2. Have you played Alan Wake?
I know it is.
They did that too, and those are like some of my favorite games because I love the stories that they do.
Yeah.
And so that really got me excited because, like I said, I love the stories and stuff like that. So I want that game for Xbox.
Yeah.
Well, other than that, it's not much I can really just think of off the top of my head because I guess nothing really caught me. I think maybe Rise, the Spartan type game.
Yeah.
And I don't know about Titanfall. That might be Xbox exclusive. That might not be. Like I said,
I think they probably wouldn't make it exclusive.
Yeah, probably not because
it's a Call of Duty.
Yeah. But there wasn't too much that I could really think of. Like some of the new IPs, Watch Dogs, everyone's really excited for. They showed more gameplay of that. I really enjoyed the concept of it.
Yeah.
Because it seems like Ubisoft, how they do with Assassin's Creed, how you can do this or
It
do
does
that.
vary with
It's like a modern version, like a modern version. You can pretty much do it how you want to do it and escape your own way.
Yeah,
Except it's open world and
like Deus Ex almost, right?
yeah.
It's a little bit like
Well, I guess I haven't really played it, but yeah, it's like a lot of tech-based stuff.
It's tech-based, and then there are also alternate ways to do missions. I think they also announced Mirror's Edge too.
Yeah, that was something I was really excited for because I really enjoyed Mirror's Edge, and I always wanted the second one, especially because the first one ends on a bit of a cliffhanger.
Okay, I'm still playing the first one, but I have it on Steam, and it's not compatible with a controller. So I'd actually have to get like a program to actual, hardwire each button to keyboard settings, which isn't that hard to do. I'm just lazy about it. But
Yeah, she has like longer hair or like a new look and stuff.
Okay.
Personally, I thought it was a really good game. I think it had a really cool concept, like definitely. A first-person free-running game.
Yeah.
And I thought it was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
Like I said, Watch Dogs, sort of a modern style thing.
Yeah.
There was another game. I wish I could remember the name of it, but it was it's sort of like an open world type game, post-apocalypse. Like not like super bad or anything, but things are messed up. And so they had like a cool little system where you had like a map of the city, and it was like at your feet. It was like a digital map. And I thought that looked pretty cool. And you're with the group. It was a multiplayer game, and they had like someone. There was a lot of tablet stuff where people would like come in on the tablet and do this or do that. And they actually had a person come in on the tablet, and he was like a drone. And so he would help, and he would like mark enemies, and he could shoot them with a machine gun.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a cool little element. Like you could be in the game if you were away from your console, and it wouldn't just be like hit this and do that and little like boring little stat updates. You'd actually be playing the game, and it would just be sort of a lesser version of the game, but still entertaining.
Okay. And
I thought that was cool, and it had some pretty nice dynamics. Like I said, I forgot the name, but it was cool.
Okay, so it's for tablets and for like systems as well. Okay.
Yeah, like a lot of games are doing the whole tablet support thing. They even did it for Dead Rising 3, which that's on Xbox One. That's exclusive, which really surprised me. The style for that, I think, is brand new. It looks a lot darker than Dead Rising 1 and 2. It's not as...
Is it as fast? Because, like, that's the thing that I guess separates other zombie kind of games for me, is that Dead Rising is very, very fast-paced compared to the other games, right?
Yeah, certain parts do, especially.
Well, maybe it's not fast-paced. The zombies actually
more,
run at you, as opposed to, like, just creepily.
Yeah, I have the first one. I never got to play the second one. I have, like the little DLC thing they did, K0, which was like a little precursor. Okay. And, that was cool. One of the big things was, of course, more zombies. And in this one, there was like a ton of zombies. Like it starts off, you're like in the backyard, and he hits a couple of zombies. And then some zombies like break through the fence, and then he runs through another fence, and there are more zombies there. So he like gets on top of this house, and you can just like he spun the camera, and there was just zombies pretty much all over the place. It was like it had to be like over 1,000 zombies on screen at once.
This was in game.
Yeah, this was in game footage. He was playing it.
Okay.
And one thing I really enjoyed was it has more of a horror aspect because he was trapped. So he was on top of this house, and it had like a skylight. So he threw like a cinder block and broke the window, and he jumped into the house. And something they did was, have you played Dead Rising 2?
I've played part of one, or I've played one before, but I don't.
Okay, well in 2, did you know about the crafting system that they have in 2? Okay, well they have it where you can like get 2 different weapons and make a new weapon.
Oh, okay.
And in this one, like in 2 they had it where you had to go to benches and stuff, and in this one it was, you have the 2 items and you combine them right there, which I thought was more of a dramatic feel to the game. It was more like more of an urgency because you like had to do it right then and there. Okay. But they gave you the option, so it made you feel like you had to. Yeah. And so he's in the house, and it's pretty much pitch black, so he has to go with the flashlight, and he shoots a couple of zombies, and he goes down in the hallway, and like another zombie jumps out and grabs him. And it was like a cool little horror element, and he got out of the house, and it was pretty cool. And they at at the end they did some more tablet stuff where a person like called in like a missile strike. So I don't know how that plays into it because I remember I was thinking about it.
Yeah.
And it made me wonder, could I just like play by myself and just be like, oh, I don't have any weapons or anything, and I just like hit a button and just blow all these zombies out.
Does it have a win button now?
Yeah. But I think it would be pretty fun. You know, like the second one they added co-op.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm assuming this one will have co-op too.
Yeah, I'd imagine.
Yeah. But it looks really good, and like I said, the graphics look different. Like 1 and 2 have sort of a cartoony, almost sort of style to it.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And when I first saw this, it was like the first thing it made me think of was Dead Island. Like it looked a lot more realistic to me. Okay. Not that Dead Island looks insanely realistic.
Yeah.
But more realistic.
It's more horrifying, right? Because Dead Rising isn't that.
Yeah, it's not really. Yeah, it's more like.
It's more of like an action game with
yeah.
zombies in it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And it's really just like the crazy like boss enemies that are really sort of the scary element, if anything, or sort of the creepy, crazy element.
Yeah.
But that definitely looks cool, and that is one of the titles that makes me want the Xbox because, like I said, I like Dead Rising 1, and even though I only had the DLC for 2, I know I enjoy 2 for all the weapons and crazy stuff that they have. But yeah, like that's exclusive. One that's exclusive for Wii U, the only one I'm really excited for is Bayonetta 2.
Yeah, Bayonetta 2.
Yeah, so like I love, like if you never played Bayonetta, the best example I could give would be like a male version of Devil May Cry, or a female version of Devil May Cry.
Yeah.
And like even a little bit crazier than that because
the older Devil May Cry or the newer one, or does it matter? Do they both play the same? Because I haven't
played the new one. Well, I played like a demo of the new one, probably like the new one and 3. Like those are probably the most action packed, like fast paced ones.
Yeah. Because one is slow. One is fun, but it's slow.
Yeah, because one was supposed to be like the Resident Evil, and then it was too action paced, so it became that. Yeah. And I remember when I got the trilogy, and I played because I never played the first one, or I never beat it.
Yeah.
And I played through it, and I was kind of bored because it was so much slower than what I was used to. And like I was just like, I was like, I just wanted to play 3 so bad, but I was like, I just played them in order, and then 2 bored me. Like I just thought 2 was fun. Like everyone hates 2 so much, but I enjoyed it when I first had it, and then like I played 1 in the trilogy. Yeah. And I didn't really enjoy it that much, and I guess because I don't know, I guess it was sort of hyped up for.
Did you play 4?
Yeah, like I have all of them.
Okay.
Except for the new one. Like I enjoy 4 too. Like I like.
Yeah, I didn't mind 4 either. I wish you could play as Dante more, but I didn't mind Neo. I thought the arm thing was cool.
Yeah, I thought that was really sweet. I think you can play as Dante through the whole game, but you have to beat it on like hard or very hard or whatever, which is always super impossible for me. Yeah. Like once I beat it twice, I get kind of bored. Yeah. And I'll play through the mode where you can kill everything in 1 hit, and then I'll be done. Like I just get tired of playing it. Yeah. But the stuff they have for Nero was cool, where you could, like, if you were in the Devil Trigger mode, he'd do extra moves. Yeah. When you grab enemies, I thought that was a really cool dynamic. Yeah. And plus, it was kind of easy to hit enemies because you could like button mash while you were attacking. Yeah. So you could basically have like blades hitting the enemies while you were punching them too, so it would just take their health down faster. Yeah. But I thought that was a really cool dynamic for the game. Yeah. But Bayonetta, like I love Bayonetta. Like I still play it. Like trying to play it on like the harder difficulties and all that stuff. And 2, it looks just, it plays just like one. Like I didn't see gameplay of the full demo because I heard it was actually like half an hour long. So it was pretty good E3 demo. But I heard it was just like the first one, really action packed. She has like a new style. She has shorter hair now and like a new outfit. Yeah. And I think she has like wings because they look like. Have you played the first one or like seen gameplay?
I've seen gameplay of it, but yeah.
Well, like how she uses her hair to like summon the demons and all that stuff. It looks like the outfit, like a part of it, the little wings are actually made out of hairs. And during the end of the demo, there's a boss fight where she's actually flying the whole time. Yeah. So I think it is her hair, and she can basically like transform into wings, transform him into wings the whole time.
Okay.
So that's a cool little dynamic. And they show like some of the torture techniques, which were kind of funny. There was one where like a horse was like running on a track and he tripped and got smashed and stuff.
Yeah.
And just like new cool weapons, things like that. So I definitely want to lead to that.
Yeah.
And even though it hasn't been announced yet, I'm waiting for No More Heroes 3 because I heard that like when 2 came out, Suda51 said he wouldn't make 3 until the next Nintendo console came out.
Yeah.
And so now it's out, so I'm waiting for him to make that,
Yeah.
which he'll probably do after the game he's doing now, which I forgot the name of. But that one was pretty cool too.
I'm surprised that's a Nintendo exclusive though. Like, was the first one on the Wii?
No. Well, the reason it is because it wasn't gonna be made.
Yeah.
Like, I guess I can't remember who published it. It was Sega published it, but whoever the developer, or no, they were the developer. Whoever was the publisher,
or the publisher wasn't going to make the.
Yeah, they didn't pick them up again, so Nintendo did.
Okay.
And that's why it's exclusive. And I think that's a great title to have as an exclusive.
It is a great title to have as an exclusive. It's just that I imagine there are going to be a lot of people that, like, I'll be honest with you, I'm probably not going to buy a Wii U. Like, the Wii U would be my second console, but I can't afford to spend,
the extra money
for that.
It was pretty much that, and like I wanted the Zombie U game when it first came out. And that was really it. Like, there's not much. Like, they announced more games, and it was really just more of their classic stuff. They had a new Donkey Kong game is coming out.
Okay.
They added like Diddy Kong to it. It has like, of course, newer graphics. And the last one that came out on the Wii was really fun.
Yeah.
I think it was Donkey Kong Country Returns or
The
Donkey
one with the
Kong.
bongos, or was
No,
that was
no,
Wii?
that was like GameCube.
Oh, that was the GameCube. Okay.
Yeah, the one on the Wii, I think, was Donkey Kong Country Returns, or maybe that's the new one. It's still Donkey Kong Country, but
yeah.
it's like Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze.
Mm-hmm.
So they have like new enemies and all the graphics, and it looks nice. And they have a game for Luigi's, like new Super Luigi Brothers, so it's just Luigi's game.
Oh,
They have a new Super Mario World, or it's like new Super Mario Worlds, and they added a Cat Super Mario, or for all the characters where you can climb up the wall.
Yeah.
And what it made me think of actually was Super Mario Brothers 2, the American version, where all the characters have different skills and stuff.
Yeah.
It's actually a lot like that, brand new, because it's Mario, Luigi, Toad, and Peach.
Okay.
And so you can do 4 players, and they have all their skills like from the game. Like Luigi jumps high, Toad is fast, Peach does the floating jump, and then you can also play on the tablet just like New Super Mario Brothers, where you can put in like the extra blocks and stuff.
Okay.
And it looks pretty cool, like a good new Mario game coming out, but
That's cool.
just more classic stuff that I guess people kind of expect. And they have some of the other third-party games coming out. Deus Ex is coming out for Wii later this year.
Okay.
And it's going to be like the ultimate version or whatever, so I guess all the DLC, which they normally do because they did that for Darksiders 2 as well. And it was like, since it came out later, they just had all the DLC. So it's kind of like Game of the Year editions they do.
Yeah, we'll do it for the same system, right? Because that's the only way I like buy Uncharted and Mass Effects now. I just wait like a year until the DLC is on the disc with it. I would have done it with Borderlands, but I couldn't wait that long. So, but yeah. So is the new Mega Man? Is it like is it an older looking Mega Man, or is it like?
It's actually, well, it looks like older Mega Man.
Okay.
But it's actually kind of a perfect mix between like his size and art style.
Yeah.
Have you played you've played X before?
Yeah, I played X.
It's kind of like his height is like right in the middle of X and the original like 8-bit version. So it's like a good height, and he has a lot of different powers from the different characters. I'm not sure if it's all from one game because I haven't really played all the other Mega Man games, but he has like fire powers, and he has the leaf shield.
Yeah.
And different powers like that. Like, he looks cool, and I'm wondering if they'll have different sort of costumes for him. It'll probably just be the different colors, but
Hey, DLC.
they could start DLC for
making random
Smash Brothers.
Yeah, always. Oh, well, that's actually another big thing. I think that Nintendo was talking about using DLC for the first time during E3, right? The first select games. I heard them talking about maybe Zelda DLC, so that's a possibility, right?
I hadn't heard anything about that, but I wouldn't be surprised if
You know,
they've finally started doing that because they haven't.
traditionally, yeah, Nintendo games don't really have that much DLC, or at least first-party games or first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It would be a good idea because
I think what they should definitely do if they started doing DLC would be Smash Brothers DLC would sell like crazy if they
It
added
would
the
sell
right
like
characters.
crazy, but
Yeah.
I don't want to buy DLC. But
Yeah.
I understand.
I mean, if they added the right characters,
Fighting
they
games
definitely
are
would.
probably the best when it comes to DLC. Probably the
Yeah.
largest cash cows because you can make new characters, new costumes,
Yeah,
maybe
so they
even
could.
new maps if you wanted to. But,
Yeah. Yeah, they could do that. New characters. Like I said, it depends on the characters.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know who's in the game except for the classic main cast. Mario.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Luigi's gonna be in it again.
What
but,
does Link look like though? Like which versions of Link is it? Is it good?
it doesn't look like Skyward Sword from
It
what I
doesn't?
saw. It
Okay.
looked more like
Ocarina
one-
of Time.
No, the one for the Wii.
Wind
Twilight
Waker?
Princess.
Oh, Twilight Princess.
Yeah,
Okay.
so he looks more like that still, but
Yeah.
it was like it was mostly the first opening video, so I'm not sure if they'll change it, and they'll probably have the new Wind Waker Link in it, like they did in the Wii, which was
Yeah.
Toon Link. So
Yeah,
they'll
they
probably
replace Young Link and Old Link with Toon Link. And,
yeah, the Twilight Princess one. So they'll probably have Toon Link back
Yeah.
again, since it'll be.
Is Snake gonna be in it again?
I don't know. They didn't show him, and I was hoping he would be because he was a
I'm
really
hoping
good
that they
character.
add another character from that universe though.
Yeah, like
They
a lot of
should
people
add
wanted
him and, like,
Gray Fox.
Gray Fox or like Ocelot would be cool.
Yeah, like if they had a Gray Fox, I think that would be sweet. Just to
Yeah.
have a ninja, or they probably have.
Do they already have a ninja? I guess that's kind of well. Okay, if you count Sheik, they have a ninja.
Yeah, I
If
guess.
you count Sheik, is Sheik still in the games now? Because
Yeah.
they're
I know.
updating Zelda, but Sheik's only in Ocarina of Time, right?
Well, yeah, but Sheik was involved, and Ocarina of Time hasn't been out since.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
But I
forever.
think that yeah, that's what I'm saying though. Like, so they're
I
they
think so because
okay.
that's like one of the most famous games
Yeah,
from the
she's
franchise. and-
she's one of the
yeah.
biggest tournament play characters too, I believe as well,
Yeah,
or at
so-
least in Melee, because I really haven't played that much of anyone but Melee and the first one. But yeah, that'll be pretty cool. What else? What else? I thought of something else, but I can't remember it now.
I feel like a game or.
I think it was a game.
Was there anything you were hoping to see, or is there anything you thought might happen that you haven't seen? Because I might have seen
Well-
it because I just.
Yeah, I guess for me, when I guess Kojima released the HD version of Zone of Enders, I guess they were going to make a third one, but since that HD collection didn't sell well, or at least from what I heard, that's his explanation of why they canceled making a third Zone of Enders game, because I really like that. For any, I guess, manga or anime fans, they're making a JoJo game. So JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, because I guess of the success maybe of the anime, a lot of people like the anime, so that looks pretty cool. It's going to be made by Capcom, I think, or is it Capcom? I forget. It's not the same. I think it might be Capcom, but it's not the same company that made the older one. Like there's an older JoJo game.
You
and
know
it's
what?
a
It's like on
different company.
Nintendo or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. But, yeah, I'm surprised that I guess they haven't announced any Marvel vs. Capcom games yet. But they
I'm
will.
not. I don't know. I guess because it's been a while.
Yeah.
I don't know. With how things are going for Marvel and Capcom, I don't know how they're gonna do like Marvel vs. Capcom 4 or when they do it, because I'm sure they're gonna do it. I don't know. Hopefully, when they do, it won't be 10 years like it was for 2.
Yeah, exactly.
But with all the crap that Capcom's been going through and how everyone hates them for all the on-disc DLC stuff they did for Marvel vs. Capcom and
Street Fighter versus Tekken.
yeah. Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna go through that stuff again. I was playing it the other day, because I got Ultimate,
Yeah, same.
and I was looking at like the DLC characters, which was Jill and Shumagora,
Yeah.
and I didn't know those were $5 a piece. Because I was thinking I really want Jill because I like Jill, even though she's
Yeah.
completely different.
She's
from
completely different. She's the Resident Evil 5 Jill. Kind
Yeah.
of, like
And,
Zero Suit Jill.
Yeah. And I remember when I first saw it before the game even came out, and it was like before 3 came out, period.
Yeah.
And they had the trailer for her. I remember I was disappointed because she reminded me of Cammy so much.
Yeah.
But I still want her because Resident Evil was my favorite franchise, and I just wanted her as a character.
Yeah, I understand.
But then it was when I actually went on and I was gonna consider buying them, it was they were $5 a piece, which I thought was way too much.
Very expensive. That's why I'm not looking forward to DLC in Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah, I don't think Nintendo would do that though. I don't know. I guess it's just me
I
thinking
think once
Nintendo.
they open the floodgates, I don't
They
think they're
probably
going to be able to
they
stop.
might. I don't know. I just feel like Nintendo is a type of company. I mean, every company has a different sort of style to it, and Nintendo is the family friendly
Well, yeah,
company,
I think
guess.
most companies did learn from Capcom, in the sense that I think they were pushing the boundaries of DLC. Probably Capcom and maybe EA. I guess. EA also pushed it as well.
EA does, the online pass stuff.
Online stuff. I don't mind online pass stuff because I mostly buy new games so that
Yeah, me too.
most of the
You know,
developer,
'cause,
like GameStop or wherever you buy it from.
because Naughty Dog does that now too,
Yeah.
and they aren't associated with EA as far as I know.
Yeah. I don't know if Naughty Dog is. Naughty Dog is a lot of Naughty Dog games are published by PlayStation, right?
Yeah,
Because
they
they
did.
did Crash Bandicoot, I think, but now they're doing
Yeah.
Uncharted. I think they're doing.
Yeah, but
so-
they do it too. But yeah, EA does for Dead Space 3
Yeah.
had the online pass, and they have a ton of microtransactions where honestly none of it's really worth it. I don't know if anyone out there ever bought it, but for me, it's just all it does is change the skins on your guns, and it might give you a new rig.
Yeah.
And in the first one, I guess it was probably worth it more than it would be now because the rigs in the games, at least in 2 they did, in 3 they actually took it out, which kind of sucked, but each rig had a specific quality to it, so one would give you, you get more health when you use med packs, and one would give you more damage for this, or items cost 10% less with this suit on.
Yeah.
And in that, I don't know because I didn't buy the suits. It might have been worth it because they could have had the specific upgrades and stuff.
Yeah.
But in 3, I know they don't at all. So
Yeah.
if you bought a DLC suit, it would just be, a new skin. Which for Dead Space, I guess isn't as special to me.
Yeah.
For some, I don't really know why because the suits can look very different.
Yeah.
But I don't know, it's just not that type of game to me.
Yeah. So not everybody really needs cosmetic changes. But I think also with EA, when Street Fighter versus Tekken came out, there's a gem system. So you equip gems. I don't know if to specific characters or you equip them to your, not your persona, your profile. But I guess the ones that you actually could buy were a lot better than the ones that you could earn in the game. So I think they learned the hard way that if you're going to have content that you have to pay extra for, it can't give you a strategic advantage against other players. There's lots of DLC that makes it
Pay to win.
pay
Yeah.
to win, so they can't do that. Especially the fighting game community, because
Yeah.
they're very
Tournaments and stuff like that. Yeah. It's almost 3 if you wanna.
It is almost there.
It's 2:54.
Did Andrew text you back yet?
Nope.
Okay. I'm okay, because my professor will let me take it tomorrow during the lab.
Oh.
Yeah, so we can keep going if you want.
Yeah. As far as E3 as a whole, I can't really think of much else. Have you ever played Thief?
No, I don't think so.
I never played Thief either, but apparently it's insanely popular. If you didn't know, that's coming back. I saw some gameplay. That looked pretty cool. It was actually funny when they demoed it.
Yeah.
It was like when Spike was doing it. It wasn't at a conference or anything, so the guy actually playing died, and it was kind of funny.
Oh,
And so it was like, see, like anything can happen. So that looked pretty cool.
yeah.
There's new DLC coming out for Borderlands 2, of course, which probably isn't a surprise.
Yeah.
For Tiny
Yeah.
Tina, it's like
Tiny Tina. Is she's actually a playable character now? Or
It's-
is it just based around that character from Borderlands 2?
I can't remember if I think she's playing. It's like it's after 2,
Yeah.
which like I haven't beaten the game, so I don't really know the
Okay.
whole thing about it.
You almost don't have to. Like, how far did you get storyline?
I don't even have to yet. Like I'm still in the beginning of 1 because it's on Steam, and
Yeah,
for some
yeah.
reason, like all my PC games, I just don't play. Like I
Yeah.
beat Sleeping Dogs. Like I flew through that,
Yeah.
and I've been playing Darksiders 2 for like 24 hours, and I still haven't beaten that.
Yeah.
And so I just haven't like played anything else.
I
but
understand. Like, I still haven't beaten Portal 2 yet
I
because
don't
it's
even,
on Steam.
yeah, I want Portal 2, and I'm waiting for it to be like 20 on PlayStation because
Yeah.
you get a Steam version if you buy it on PS3. And I've been holding out forever just so I can have like 2 copies because it's like I might as well, like I could pay
Yeah,
30,
exactly.
like because it's probably like $20 on Steam or less probably.
Yeah.
But like I'd probably pay the 30 to have it on PS3 and on Steam at once, especially since they have the level creator
Yeah.
on PS3 too.
Yeah.
So like I've been waiting for that forever.
Okay.
But
And speaking of Steam, if anybody out there needs a copy of Dota, I have like 5 or 6 gift ones. So if you're listening, if you see this video, just put in the comments section, just put your Steam name or whatever, and I can give you one. Because I haven't played that game in forever, and I don't know anybody that doesn't play Dota that wants that. So if you're interested, just
free
let
games.
us know. Free games.
First episode. free
Yeah.
games. There's not much else really as far as E3 goes. I enjoyed it, like I said, like all the press conferences. I enjoyed Battlefield 4 looks amazing. Like it does like Battlefield 3 looked
Every
amazing.
Battlefield
Yeah.
game looks amazing. Though.
Like I don't play Battlefield, but I do like I love seeing it because it looks so good. And
Yeah.
what they did for the demo
Mhm.
was the multiplayer, and they actually had like 64 people on stage,
Oh wow.
and they follow like one specific person, and they did like some of the most amazing stuff I'd ever seen. And they had like a person was in a tank on the street, and they were in the subway. They like blew up a pillar, and the tank crashed into the ground, so the player got stuck. They went into like a building,
Yeah.
and they were like fighting in the building, and somebody was in like a helicopter, and they blew up the building.
Yeah.
And they ran and jumped out of the window and parachuted down, and
Yeah.
like the guy turned around in the building, like crashed into the ocean.
Oh, that's cool.
And it was all types of crazy. So they were running, then they got on a boat, and then they went off the boat. They had like ski-doos on the
Yeah.
back of the boat, and they went off. And like, I was like, man, that's freaking insane. Because I was thinking, like, wouldn't that be so cool if they just jumped out of the window and parachuted down? And that's exactly what they did.
Wow. Those
And-
maps must be massive. though.
Yeah, the maps are huge because they have all the destructible environments, which
Yeah.
they started with. If I remember right, it was Battlefield Bad Company 2, because I think that's when they started it, and
Okay.
then they put it into Battlefield 3,
Okay.
and now in 4, and it's like you have these giant destructible environments.
Yeah.
And I think I played a beta for 3,
Mm-hmm.
but they only had like 1 or 2 levels. It wasn't that destructible to me, but I
Yeah.
think they changed it more. I mean, obviously, they had like the pillar crashed and the tank fell down from the street.
Yeah.
So I think it's more destructible than 3 was, which was still good for what it was because it's already like an insanely detailed game. To have
Yeah.
all the extra, like buildings falling and things like that, it takes a lot of power, which is why they always have it on PC.
Okay. Yeah.
But they said the specs were for Xbox One and PS4. It was on the dev kit or
You're
whatever.
gonna lag like crazy though if you don't have a good connection.
Yeah.
But I guess that's true for everything.
Yeah.
And then also Harmonix announced a new game, right? They're doing like a Fantasia game for Disney, I think.
Yeah.
So I personally like Harmonix games. I like Rock Band and things. And I was talking to someone else who plays those games, and he was disappointed in that. But
That it was Fantasia.
well,
that
not
game.
necessarily. Like I think no one would have a problem playing like Fantasia or Disney songs on Rock Band instruments. But I think
Well, it's not. It's actually regular songs. It's like the song they played was by Queen.
Yeah, it was Queen, and then I think actually I think it was a Bruno Mars song too.
It might have been.
Or both. I think they announced both. I think the trailer that I saw was a Bruno Mars song. But yeah, well, it's expensive to make those instruments too, and it's actually hard to find them online. You have to go to like Amazon if you want to actually get Rock Band instruments. So
Yeah, like I was trying to find the guitar forever.
yeah,
Cause like that's all I really wanted was. Cause I want to play guitar. Like I have a guitar,
yeah.
but obviously I can't just hook it up to the game because it's
Yeah.
an acoustic guitar.
I think with
But I
Rocksmith
figured-
you could do that though. But
Yeah, they announced a new Rocksmith. Ubisoft did.
Oh, they did?
Rocksmith 2.
okay,
So I guess that's supposed to be better than the first one. I heard the first one was actually good for, as far as a guitar training type game.
yeah, that's what I heard as well.
But I never played that one either.
So is Black Flag gonna be on this gen or next gen?
Both.
Both.
It's gonna be on everything actually. It's gonna be PS3, PS4,
Yeah.
360, Xbox One, and it's gonna be on Wii U.
Okay.
What I saw for that also looks great.
So it's not gonna look that good on next gen then, because they're porting it like
Well,
crazy to everything.
I
Probably.
guess it might. I mean, I thought 3 looked good for when
I
it
think
was.
3
so-
looks great. So well,
It'll
I
be
think all
better
those
than-
games look great. So.
Yeah, I think they do too.
Yeah.
But that one looked cool. Apparently, it's before. I was confused by this at first, but after watching some other stuff, I know it is officially before 3,
Yeah.
and it's actually you play a character that trained a character that was in 3. And like this character in 3, he's an adult in the game, and so you play the guy who actually trained him
Okay.
to become an
So
assassin.
you actually aren't playing as a descendant or as a.
It's still, it's still.
Is he related to Desmond though?
Yeah.
He is.
Like I won't spoil 3, but the character.
Well, I know the character in 3 is related to Desmond, but is the character in Black Flag also related to Desmond?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
it's just I don't know why they did it like that. I was confused, but I think it's. I guess they just thought it was really cool to have pirates, so they kind of had to go backwards in time because it was in.
So you're like a pirate ninja now, because the assassins
Yeah.
were very much like ninjas.
Yeah, it looks cool. They added more stuff to the boats.
Okay.
They have more weapons, more movement for some of the cannons. They had like you could drop barrels into the water full of gunpowder and stuff.
Mhm.
You can board the ships now, like they like free roam board
Yeah.
ships, and like he went to the top of the mast and went across and dropped down and killed some people.
Yeah, yeah.
And it actually froze when they were doing it on stage.
The
like,
gameplay?
Yeah,
Or-
it was gameplay, and at first it like stopped a little bit,
Yeah.
and then it would go, but it like when it got to I don't even know how far it was supposed to go from there, but
Yeah.
it froze and they had to like stop and move on. And that almost happened in Battlefield 4. It like didn't start up at first.
Well, just by all the things they were doing in that one, I'm surprised it didn't. But yeah, I haven't played 3 yet. I still need to beat Tomb Raider, and I still have Dark Souls, and I barely touched Dark Souls.
Yeah, Dark Souls 2 is coming out. For
Yes.
anyone who doesn't know that.
Yeah. So more hard bosses. More,
Yeah.
More
Right,
hard.
it's not going to be any easier.
Yeah.
So.
But I don't know. I feel like I played a little bit of Demon Souls before, and from what I've played of Dark Souls, it isn't quite as bad. Like people that have played Dark Souls probably aren't going to have the steep learning curve as people that have never played Dark Souls when they start playing Dark Souls 2, if that makes sense. But yeah. What else about the conference?
Pretty much, like everyone said, the whole PS3, Xbox thing.
Yeah.
Mentioned it like earlier. I have no idea how long we've been doing this. It's been 49 minutes.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but Xbox went back. I think it was like 2 days ago. They went back on the DRM stuff.
Yeah, they did.
So you can, use games. Don't have to worry about the fee. Some of the stuff they did was really cool at the conference. Now, Xbox Live, one of the things they're doing is kind of like PlayStation Plus, where you get free games now for being an Xbox Live member.
Yeah. I think Fable's free right now, or was free.
I think Fable, one of the games they mentioned was Halo 3. So it's older games, but those are obviously, like Halo 3 is obviously a great game.
Yeah.
So big titles, just older ones.
Yeah.
A new Halo was announced. I don't know if it's going to be Halo
I
5.
doubt it's Bungie. But
No, it's 343. They did 4 and now they're doing 5 and 6.
Okay.
They didn't say if it was Halo 5 or anything, but I would assume it is. It was just a little teaser trailer. It looked cool too.
Yeah.
They announced during their the pre-E3 thing that there's going to be a Halo TV show, which it might be good. Have you seen the Forward Unto Dawn movie?
No.
Okay, I watched that. I saw that on Netflix, and
Okay.
it was actually really good. And I heard everybody enjoyed it. And I was like, okay.
Is it live action or CG?
It's live action,
Okay.
and it's like a good 2-hour movie. It came out in bits, and then once it was done, they put it all together. It was like a good 2-hour movie. It's on Netflix, so it's Halo Forward Unto Dawn,
Okay.
and it starts at this academy where they train Spartans,
Yeah.
and then like the aliens attack and stuff. And so like apparently people don't know about the Spartans. Like Master Chief is like completely like top secret and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It was actually really, really good. I enjoyed it.
Cool.
So I don't know, like if it's gonna be like that, I think it'll end up being really good.
I was just thinking of red versus blue. I was like, what?
I doubt it. Yeah, I doubt it'll be like that. It's a live action red versus blue. But I think that'll end up being a pretty good show. It's with Steven Spielberg, so
Oh wow.
Top notch.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
a person to have on your
They
side.
are not skimping on production. But are you disappointed that they didn't do any Resident Evil stuff, or they didn't show anything for Resident Evil?
Not really. I didn't expect anything for it. I guess I never really do. I just kind of like whenever I go into E3 or any sort of conference, I don't look for any information.
Yeah.
I just like to watch it and see, what they say,
Yeah.
just to, get the information brand new.
Yeah.
But I wasn't disappointed at all. I did like an hour-long video like a month ago or so,
Yeah.
talking about like Resident Evil 7 or whatever it might end up being, and what I hope it is.
Do you want it to? Well, what's your favorite Resident Evil game? I should say.
The best one, like without a doubt, is the remake of the original.
Okay.
And like that's my favorite. It has the Crimson Head zombies, which are the ones that run.
Okay.
And it's just a fun game. Like I've played it probably 3 or 4 times.
Okay.
Which I guess is like the second most or third most, because I played 6 a bunch since it has all the different characters. So I played it with all of them.
Yeah.
But like right now I'm playing Code Veronica because I bought the HD version on PSN because they have like a huge sale.
Yeah.
So I bought like all the DLC for 6 so I could get all the new modes.
Yeah.
I bought Code Veronica, and I got Revelations when that came out. That was pretty fun too.
Okay.
There were some things I didn't like about it, but it was because it came from 3DS.
Okay.
And I was thinking, I was still used to 6. So like going through doors and stuff, it's kind of weird because they don't have it like 4 where you can like you'll push it and then you hit it and they'll hit the door. You just press it and they walk through, and then it closes and you have to turn around.
That's how I think Noni Kuni was. I think Noni Kuni was originally supposed to be a game with some sort of stylus or touchscreen, but they ported it to PS3. And so basically the way the spells work is the spells are like lines that you can probably trace with like a Wiimote. But since it's PS4, you just like basically go into a menu and choose which spell you want. So it's a good game.
Like I enjoyed Revelations. I played through it once. I'm playing through it the second time on like a harder difficulty. I played raid mode, which is the co-op mode. That was pretty fun to have.
Yeah,
I also thought the game could have just been co-op, honestly, because there are really only a couple of parts where you're actually split up from your partner.
Mm-hmm.
And even then, it could have been co-op because they did that in Resident Evil 6, and it was only in one section, but the characters are actually split up.
Yeah.
And almost called her Ashley, but that's from 4.
Yeah.
Sherry, she's in like a different area, and Jake, he can actually see her on the camera.
Yeah.
And so like he opens one door for her, and she does some stuff by herself, and he can control some of the machine guns in the area. And I thought they could have done the exact same thing for Revelations, because they announced it was coming out for consoles. It was about a year ago now, and you know obviously they did the graphics and stuff. They took it out because it was in first person on DS. So obviously they updated the graphics.
As opposed to a new over the shoulder, I guess.
Instead of third person, it was first person,
Okay.
and it was only first person when you were shooting, which they did before in Resident Evil Dead Aim, which was like a sort of off-brand one.
Okay.
But yeah, they took it out for that, so it's all third person, unless you use there's like a camera thing where you can scan for items. And that's actually how they did the trailer, which I thought was an excellent way to do the trailer because it's completely first person,
Mm-hmm.
and so it's kind of slow paced. And I like to play the game like that sometimes because it does actually look kind of cool if you could
It's
capture the
definitely more
game.
scary.
Yeah, like if you could capture the game like that and just pure first person, it looks really cool.
Yeah.
But I thought they could have done co-op, and
Okay.
they have like the punch attacks from 4 and 5 and 6. But
Mhm.
you have to get them in like a specific way to do it. They have to be dazed and stuff.
Okay.
But overall, I thought it was a pretty fun game. It had like a couple of little twists here and there,
Mm-hmm.
and they actually had some swimming parts that are actually really simple and fun. Like it was just you push the button and they'll swim. It wasn't like crazy like a lot of games have it.
Yeah. So, but in terms of like, what do you think in terms of Resident Evil 7, right? Because 6 wasn't as critically acclaimed as some of the more recent Resident Evils. So, do you think they're going to go back to kind of the original formula, or do you think they're?
I doubt that they would ever go back to
Mhm.
like the classics or anything like that. I
Yeah.
think what they're gonna do, because this is all they really can do unless they take it back. Like personally, what they could easily do,
Yeah.
and I always thought this, like once 4 came out, the first thing, or even before 4 came out, what I always wanted was for them to remake 2 and 3, because once they remade 1 and it was so well done, I wanted them to redo 2 and 3 because you know you can have all the new graphics and all that stuff. And in the remake of 1, they actually changed a lot of the game. Like items are in different areas. You actually fight bosses in different places. Like the snake is in a different area when you fight it the second time. And there's like some rooms aren't even there. And they add a bunch of stuff on. They added like the little girl storyline where she was like captured by Umbrella and her family and all that. That wasn't in the original game at all.
Okay.
And so they added that, and they have nods to the original, like the crest and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a really great game where, you know, it was really scary. The graphics looked amazing. Like even today, the graphics for that are like fantastic graphics.
Okay.
And it had like the zombies where you had to like burn the bodies or cut their heads off to keep them from turning into crimson heads. So basically, if you like killed a zombie, I think like the third time you walk through that room, it would get up and it would start chasing you again. And it would pretty much do that until you killed it again and then burned its body. I don't know if you could chop the heads off, because I always tried that, because you have to have the lighter and you have to have like oil in the canteen to do it, so that takes up the space and it just whole new dynamics and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But it was really fun.
Yeah.
And so I wanted them to redo 2 and 3, even if they were the same, because 3 was my favorite for a very long time until I actually like compared it to the remake. And I thought, you know, they could remake these and it would be great. And then 4 came out, and I thought they could still remake. They could remake 0 through Code Veronica. So it's like 5 games right there.
Mm-hmm.
And they could do it just like 4, and it would still be a horror-based game. It's just, you know, it's what you put into the game that makes it action-based or horror-based. Like it happened in 6 where, you know, you have like Chris, Leon, and Jake, and Chris has a more action campaign because of 5. Jake has sort of a mix between both. His is kind of like an escape type of campaign from the main enemy, and that's kind of like Nemesis from 3. And then Leon is, of course, like the classic zombies where it's sort of scary and stuff. And, you know, they could easily make an entire game like Leon's and have even less action in it. I'm sure they'll keep the dynamics, like they added the dive stuff, which personally I thought that was really cool. But they could remake all the games and just have them like 4, 5, and 6, and they can still be just as scary. You know, you have 6 slots or whatever. You need this item, that item, and add puzzles and things. But it's just based on where it's going. I doubt that they'll go back to the classic elements of how they used to have it. Like in 6, one of the things I actually realized, I don't think I realized until maybe the 2nd or 3rd campaign, was that they don't have any of the dialogue where like you'll walk to something and you press X and it'll have like the text come across the screen. They don't have that like really at all in the game.
Yeah.
And even though it's such a minor little thing, it's just a part of Resident Evil, and they don't really have, like they pretty much took out files, I think, in 5.
Yeah.
So they don't have any of that stuff where you get like little stories from like this person who died, like way before you were there, and all types of stuff like that. They just took those elements out.
Yeah, with the advent of with voice acting, they don't feel like they have to do a lot of written text anymore, I guess.
Yeah, but like it would still be great if they did.
Yeah, I understand.
Just to have that element. It was never. There were some things they did with the letters, and I can only think of one instance, which was in 1, where you go into this specific room and you read this letter, and after you read it, a zombie like comes out of the closet, and like it only happens if you read the actual letter and you kill the zombie and you get like you get some ammo or whatever, and they can do stuff like that, and a lot like how Dead Space went. A lot of people say it's too actiony. Personally, I love Dead Space like that. Because I love horror games, so that's why they become like my favorite franchises.
Yeah.
And Dead Space 1 was great. I enjoyed 2. At first, it's like he talks now, so it was a little adjustment for that. But now I'm used to it. And in 3, it is more actiony. But what they showed, like initially, they didn't show any of the space stuff, because like half the game is still in space. But what they wanted to show off was the planet Tau Volantis, and that's when a lot of people were like, it's like Lost Planet and stuff like that. But it still has all the basic horror elements, but something about it, it's not as scary as the other ones. But the DLC, which I like instantly bought when I found out that came out, that's just like classic Dead Space, where he's having hallucinations and you're fighting enemies and you find out like they're not even there and things like that. And it led to like a cliffhanger, which hopefully will lead into Dead Space 4 being just like the older ones. With co-op, and both of the characters are kind of hallucinating and stuff like that. I think it'll be really cool.
Yeah.
But games, just how they progress now is kind of like you start off really scary, and then it just more
Do you think
action.
it's because like in the first game you didn't know what to expect, and now you know what to expect?
Yeah,
from
I feel because like I thought of that when 3 came out. I thought you can't have. It's just like movies. You can't have the same movie over and over again.
That's true.
And even though it's easier said than done to have a good game or a good movie with the same story over and over again. You have to
like the
create elements.
Aliens series and the Predator series are now just almost funny action movies now, just because you know the premise of the story and what they're going up against every single time now. So there's not much variation you can do. But
I hope it's really good. Like I love the movies they do for the 3D movies for Resident Evil. I've seen both of those. Those are really great movies. Actually, they're more action based. The first one did have more horror to it than the second one did.
Okay.
And the second one was more actiony, but it was a fun, CG movie, and it was really cool. Like I guess I didn't really expect that to be horror based because it was a movie, but it had some creepy elements to it, like some scary little parts.
Yeah, yeah.
But overall, I thought both of those were like great movies,
Mm-hmm.
and those are just like two great video game movies. And I think Dead Space also has great movies. Like I bought both of the movies for Dead Space
Mm-hmm.
because both of those are like really visceral films. They're just like the games that people going crazy and stuff, and they start killing each other. And
Yeah.
it's just a really good story to watch,
Okay.
in movie form, and it keeps true to the gameplay where it's really like the necromorphs just killing a bunch of people
Yeah.
and people trying to survive.
Yeah.
But I don't know, just over time you have to develop the story, so you can't just have nothing happen. Like we have to escape over and over again, and you don't include this and that. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I hope it's good though,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm sure I'll buy it anyway because Dead Space or Resident Evil.
Yeah.
Like if you like it, you generally just buy it
I
anyway.
haven't played any Dead Space before, I'll be honest.
You should play. Well, you should definitely play the first one.
Yeah. People always tell me that, but
Yeah, it's really fun.
yeah. I'm sure it is. It looks fun. But yeah. So
Alright, Charles. I think we'll cut it there.
Yeah.
We could probably do like a part 2 if we come up with something else. So that's
Yeah.
like an hour and 5 minutes.
okay.
So that's good. So we can have. We'll probably do a part 2, which will be like minutes from now or whatever, and we'll have a third member. So if you watch this, stay tuned for that one. Sorry, it's super long, but that's pretty much how podcasts go, actually. So
Yeah, yeah.
thanks for watching. I'll probably put in the comments for the free games, like
Yeah.
go to this minute or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
But thanks for watching.